Hey, what's up, guys? Tim Uchuk here. Just wanted to hop on real quick and talk to you about a strategy. If you've got a team, if you're growing your team, and you're feeling a little bit of chaos, a little bit of like frustration when it comes to implementing processes, working on projects, implementing strategies, all of that stuff that you're constantly trying to work towards as a team, and it feels, frustrating. It feels like something's kind of missing. I want to share this is like a small tweak in your approach that can have a huge difference across all the areas of your business. And when I learned this approach, it was one of those paradigm shifts that like completely changed my world. And I'm talking about the scientific method when it comes to running your business, managing your projects, managing your processes, where you let go of this idea of like when we launch something, when we create a new process, it's done, it's launched, we can move forward. As a scientist, and the scientific method and where innovation comes from is seeing anything you do as a never-ending process of continuous improvement. And what the cycle looks like, there's an acronym for it, which is PDCA, which is plan, do, check, adjust. So through the lens of like a scientist innovating, trying to find some sort of a solution, you start with the planning, which is you have a hypothesis, you turn it into a plan, and then you execute on the plan, and then you stop, you look at the results, and you're going to learn from executing your hypothesis, executing on your plan. And then based on that feedback and the results, you're going to learn that some stuff worked, some stuff didn't. And based on that information, we're going to, the D and the PD, the C and the A is the check and the adjust. So we stop, we check, how did it work? What worked well? Where's there room for improvement? And then we make adjustments accordingly. So how this can translate, and this is a good kind of pattern language to have with your team, PDCA, where if you are launching a new process, you get the 80% right, you launch it, then you schedule a follow-up meeting intentionally for the checking and the adjusting. And you can literally with these meetings say, okay guys, when can we plan our check and adjust? So PDCA, plan, do, check, adjust. When can we plan the check and adjust? And literally when we're planning out our like quarters, we'll put in, regardless of what it is, could be a project we're running, could be a process, could be a new strategy that we're testing out. We take this into account by having, okay, within the next 90 days, we're going to plan and launch this thing, and then we'll have 2 check and adjust meetings. What is a check and adjust meeting? It means that we launched it, we stop, we meet, we look at it, we have a discussion around what's working, let's do more of that, what's not working, let's make adjustments accordingly. So let's do 2 check and adjust meetings. So again, for like change management, when your team adopts this understanding and notion that continuous improvement is a never-ending cycle where you're just ratcheting up, hopefully making 1% improvements here, shaving off 30 seconds here, by eliminating a redundancy, eliminating a little bit of waste, a little bit of friction, frustration among your team within a process, it becomes fun because when you have these check and adjust meetings, you're going to, number one, you're abandoning the notion of things having to be perfect. You're embracing the notion of change being something that never goes away. We embrace change, but the shift is that we're not reactive with change, and it's not something that's happening to us as like victims. It's like we expect that there's going to be change. We expect that things aren't going to be going perfectly, and we're going to plan for that. And so proactively, we're going to stop, and we're going to have a check and adjust meeting where we're going to look at everything, and we're going to look at what's in the scope of our control, what's outside of the scope of our control. Let's focus on the former, put the latter aside. Let's make some small tweaks and adjustments, and then let's do the same thing in like a week or 2 weeks. It lowers the temperature on the pressure of things having to be perfect. It eliminates a lot of infighting where it's like, well, this didn't work, I'm going to blame so-and-so, I'm going to throw them under the bus. Or we sweep things under the rug and we hide them, which is the worst thing that you can have in your business, because if you can't see problems, you can't solve problems. So through this process, we're also getting into the habit of draining the water, revealing those rocks, those imperfections, so that we can, with intention, embrace them, Focus on the things that are working, but see the problems as opportunities instead. So there's kind of a reframing there. So if you take anything out of this, if you want to like immediately eliminate that frustration that comes from what we're talking about is change management. And change management is something that it's a skill that we all need in our business, because the moment that you abandon change in your organization is essentially you're signing up for yourself going out of business in the long run, because industries change, buying habits and behaviors change. Look at Amazon Prime. We're all getting measured against Amazon Prime in terms of the efficiencies, in terms of the experiences in the buying process. We're getting compared to that, whether we like it or not, even if we're in a different industry. So we have to innovate, because if we're not, the person down the street who's doing the same thing, if they are innovating long enough time horizon, they're going to start eating up market share. So we have to embrace the fact that we need to work on getting a little bit better every single day. And if that's the case, we need to embrace it and look at it as a positive thing, something that will never go away. There's not going to be a moment in time where you say, okay, the change is now done. Things are now perfect. We can put the change aside and just kind of focus. Instead, bake it into your daily habits and your routines and your mindset, so that you embrace it. You see it coming, and you can do that by adopting PDCA: plan, do, check, adjust. Never ending continuous improvement cycle. If you guys embrace that and literally use it in your vocabulary, and it's like, okay, we launched this thing. When can we schedule our check and adjust meeting? You have the check and adjust meeting. When can we schedule the next one? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you just keep kind of ratcheting up, getting a little bit better every time. It's going to solve for so many things that will manifest as negative symptoms in your culture among your teams, and it's going to make solving problems fun. So hope that's helpful, guys. By the way, if you're watching this live, if you can put hashtag live below so I can see you guys in the comments. On the replay, hashtag replay. Hope this was helpful, guys, and have an awesome rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.